Alright, so right now I'm just doing some testing. Alright, so right now I'm just doing some testing. Alright, so right now I'm just doing some testing. Alright, so right now I'm just doing some testing. Alright, so right now I'm just doing some testing. Alright, so right now I'm just doing some testing. Alright, so right now I'm just doing some testing. Alright, so right now I'm just doing some testing. Alright, so right now Alright, so right now I'm just doing some testing, seeing how this performs. Right now I'm using my phone as the webcam for OBS. Just checking, seeing how it performs and everything before I actually start doing using OBS. Well, I've never used OBS before, but this is the first time using. Well, actually, I've used OBS before, but apparently it wasn't working too well on my other computer. So right now I'm just testing it to see how it performs at the time. So, without further ado, I'm just going to switch this over to the other camera. That way you guys can see it. And just so you know, there would be flashing lights here. So if you have a history of epilepsy or seizures, please do not watch this video. Please do not watch this stream. Don't want a lawsuit against me. And above all, don't get people all pissed off either. So, and the focus is a little bit shaky. I gotta go figure out how to fix it. Exposure value, exposure lack. Nope. That's cool. I can zoom in now. There we go. That fixed the focus. Alright, so right now, this is my compact portable one. And pretty soon I'm going to be having an extensive setup. Well, cheap, but very expensive setup. So I'm going to be hooking up my compact portable one. I already got my Sony PVM 901 hooked up to it. But there'll be one other computer that'll be hooking up to this pretty soon. Well, soon being the operative word. It'll be this computer. My rusty, trusty, and crappy laptop. I'll be hooking up my compact portable from the video out of this video card, well, soon to be EDA card, to the MCE2 VGA card, and then hooking up the VGA to USB. Capture device. That way I'll be having two different things on here at once. My phone as the webcam, and the video card. My gosh, and the video connection. Let's go ahead. The VGA to USB. Excuse me. Let's go ahead and switch the modes here, so I can show you guys the MS-DOS and I was going to say it looks like black and white, but I think it's because DOS is always black and white. Let's go ahead and type edit. This thing takes a while because it's 8080, the NEC D8088D. Of course, it's black and white for it, but it's alright. Let's go ahead and close out of here. So soon, like I said, be doing future video streams. I'm going to be doing some more upgrades to this machine. I have my XT FTC on the way, which supports high density floppy drive. So I'm going to be having this one, the 360 kilobyte floppy drive. That's the magnetic peripherals incorporated as the drive A. This dual floppy drive right here. This one would be drive B. And this one would be drive C, D, or E, or whatever. And then I'll be getting a promised EPGA video card that supports a PEGA, video card. And then some other parts from DriodCam that will serve as a purpose for the video signal. Turn it. I'm not sure if it has to do with the focus. The focus is a little bit wonky on this phone sometimes. In any event, well, I'm doing the live streams a lot easier as my phone, like I said, was focused, so that's why I'm using the OBS for the Twitch streams. Well, especially the future ones like this one right here. So it's going to be really fun. I'm not sure how many people are actually watching this stream. But let me take a look at my... Let's see here. I think I have to click on view, then docs, and then chat. Let's see how many people have chatted on here. I don't think I have any viewers actually, but pretty soon I'll probably be a little bit more than this, but let's see, stream information, stats, let's check stats here. Nope, that's just the stats for, let's see, view, I think it's probably like something like stream information, Twitch stats. Okay, so we do have a viewer on here. It should tell me like who, I don't think it'll tell me like who's viewing it or something like that. The only way I can tell through the chat window thing, but in case you guys are wondering, I did put a YouTube video about the feature plans for this machine, one of which is installing the promised PEGA video card. I'm making my own board that allows me to hook up the internal monitor that you see right here to the video card itself. I also ordered some wire, some diodes, a blank PCB board, some standoffs to mount on the side, and I'm going to be building something to use it as a grounding strap for the monitor itself, because one of the pins is the grounding strap, and that's important because otherwise the monitor might not work if there is no grounding strap in place. So I'm going to go use something like an old power supply that doesn't work anymore, cut the ground thing out of that one, the screw, and possibly get a mount for it, or get like a bolt, like a nut or something like that. I'm trying to figure out what it's called. I think it's a bolt. Yeah, bolt. Or nut. Excuse me. I think the nut is... Yeah, the nut is the smaller piece. The bolt is the bigger piece. So that way you can mount it on the side. Yep, put it right here on the side. I'll show you guys. So you can put it on the side here. I'll turn my light on so you guys can see better. Either right here or right here, and just mount it in place right here, so that way the video card will work. The sound card itself, I did fix this. The potentiometer was just a little bit dirty, so I sprayed some 99.9% IPA alcohol in it, put the build back on, moved it around, back and forth, working without a problem. Now, for this, the floppy controller, the XT-FTC, only has a serial port on it, so I have to re-enable the parallel port on here. The address set to 378H, as well as the IRQ to 7. Go from there, and then update the BIOS to the patch version that allows the 378H to be used. The RAM card itself is working perfectly fine. It's the one that has 6 banks of RAM. You can put 64 kilobytes of RAM plus the parity. So altogether 384. There is a smaller version of it that I'm actually betting on eBay right now. I just hope I win it because I would like to have the smaller RAM card in there to prevent a lot of heat dispersion and stuff like that, and possibly save a couple of things here and there. As for, like I said, the video card, I'm going to have to figure out a way to mount it on this computer easily, because there's no screw hole right here at the bottom. It's just only a blank spot, and there are screw holes for the other cards right here, but nothing right here. So my initial plan is to drill a little hole out, like use one of the cards as a template, drill a hole. Same thing with the floppy controller, like drill something down, and then use my screwdriver tapping set, and then put some screws in, and that'll be good to go. And then do some testing to make sure it's working. Hopefully it works. If not, I will think of something else for that. I can probably use these two still, but I have to find a way to actually mount something like that. I'd use this, like these brackets here, but unfortunately, I actually have an idea. I can 3D print a bracket. I can take like one of these like this bracket up over here, or make something that's similar, as have something that's like this high up, so that way I'll be able to mount the card right here. The cards itself, excuse me. I don't have a 3D printer at the moment, but I think that would be a good idea. Like I said, there'll be a flashing light, so I'm going to go cover this so you guys don't see the flashing light. And my other hand's going to be... Okay, there we go. So, I think that's going to be all for now. So like I said, in the future, there'll be future streams, like, Let's Play series, like Let's Play Space Quest 1, Space Quest 2, King's Quest 1, 2, Iceman, Codename Iceman, excuse me, Lemmings, and a few other things. I'm waiting for that. That's an 8 megahertz, so hopefully they'll work on this computer without a problem. I'll be doing some testing and everything with it to make sure it's working. The AST clock is working correctly, so figure might as well make sure that the time of day is correct, and it looks like it is correct, but it doesn't. I wish there was like a little TSR program that'll tell you like the exact time, like in the top right corner of the screen or something like that, but I don't think that's possible because it's going to overlap and make everything run a little slow. Anyway, this thing has 640 kilobytes of memory installed, so that's good. It had the hardcore 20 in it, but I took it out. I did archive all the data off of it. Thankfully, the drive still works, but not taking any chances. So this is the hard card. Turn the light on here again. If I can actually turn this, there we go. This is the old hard card that came with the computer My dad got one of these between 1992 to 1993. It stopped working in 93. Restriction problems. This drive actually did have the same problem. So I've decided what the heck, I'll fix it and see what the heck happens. And that was easy. Fix was easy. A floppy drive, on the other hand, the original 360 kilobyte floppy drive here, and the one that's in my Pentium Pro system, which is right there, I put it in there as a template to see if it would fit in there. It looks like it will fit in there without a problem, but both those drives, they were having issues. Wasn't seeking or anything. So I took the drives out, sprayed some white lithium grease on the rails. That didn't do anything. Well, it did help a little bit, but not much. So I got my machine oil, put some of that inside the motor shaft, inside the I was going to say motor shaft, but it doesn't sound right. The spindle motors, that control the head movement, as well as the white lithium grease, and both of the drives work. That was the easy fix. I thought I was going to take the spindle motor out and put a new one in, or replace the bearings, but the bearings itself, they are supposed to be sealed bearings, but they ain't sealed bearings, they're unsealed bearings. That's why those things dried out really good. So in the future, I'm gonna have to re-oil them and everything. But the drives do work. And I put a 1.44 megabyte floppy drive in here in place of the other 360 kilobyte drive. The drive works as 720 at the moment because of the BIOS limit, and the floppy card does not like anything past double-sided, double-density drives. And then this little thing right here, this is the hard drive indicator light. I'll go ahead and restart the computer here so you guys can see that little light in action. See that? It flickered just for a second. There we go. So yeah, that is the hard drive indicator. These are the brackets that came off the RL MFM drives at the time, 5 1/4 inch. And the LED connects to the XT-CF card. Okay, so let's see here. The time says it's 3:36 a.m. It's in 24-hour time zone. I think the time's a little bit off, but let me check and see what happens when I type time and see what time it says on here. It's probably going to be a little bit off. Yeah, that's just a bit off. As long as it's in range and time and the date is correct, I'm happy. It's just, even if it's just a little bit off, it's no big deal. Now, I tried playing Lemmings on the thing. Or is it running slow? So when I get the V20, it's going to be it's probably going to be a little bit faster, but I'm not sure how fast it's going to be. But I know memory is a big factor right now, especially now I have a sound card installed in this computer. Because Lemmings requires at least 580 kilobytes of free RAM, or conventional memory, or RAM, to be playable with audio. So once I get the NEC V20, it's probably going to be a lot faster because that particular CPU is actually far more superior than the Intel i8088. This particular one that's in here is basically like the Intel 8088D, Intel i8088. It's the D88D, which is basically the same instruction set, like the same thing as the Intel CPU. So when I get the V20, it's going to be far more superior. In fact, when I got this computer, it was listed as not working. Power's on, blank screen. Turned out 2 of the cards were completely unseated. Actually, all the cards were pretty much unseated except for the one. The one card that was not unseated. and that was the network card, which is this bad boy right here. I don't have any use for this, so I might as well sell this to somebody who like a piece of history. And I'll back up the drivers and everything onto like a diskette and send it to them as well. So that way they'll at least they'll have the drivers for not search online for them. So it is what it is. So I also tried this 256 megabyte Transodom Compact Flash industrial card. It was not having it. Like, it wasn't even working at all. Well, actually, it would work, but it just crashed all the time. It's a piece of junk Chinese hardware. A piece of junk crap. Sorry. No offense to everyone that's over in China. I understand how you feel. I should probably stop talking about that. Let's not talk about politics, folks. So anyway, here are the cards from left to right. Left to right. You have the flagship controller, which also has a parallel port. The compact VDU card, CGA graphics plus composite. Let's see here at the right. On my AST 6-pack plus SPK 60064, which has a serial. It also has a header for parallel as well as the game port. I have both those disabled at the moment. Sound Blaster 2.0, CT1350B with the CMOS upgrade chips installed. Best mine's on that singer card. It's like having two sound cards as one piece, and that's pretty cool. Then this XTCF card adapter, which works without a problem. I got a 64 megabyte. It came with one actually, so I formatted that. Deleted the partition on my laptop, and then I used commands to make a blank or a raw image of the compact flash card. Then I ran them VirtualBox, installed MS-DOS 6.282 from there, and it was all set. I just need to install a supplemental disk and possibly get some quick basic on here so I can write some basic programs. Basic programs, because I'm thinking about hopefully Disney doesn't file a lawsuit against me, is make a photo of Grogu with basic. Well, in color. So it'll show up on the this is right here. Where my computer? My laptop, excuse me. And I'll get a screenshot of that and post it online and see what people think of it. Another thing I have to do on this computer is fix that rattling AC fan. The bearings are completely worn to the bone. Maybe I can source a new one and just install it, because I know the newer fans are direct current. These are current fans. AC. The fan that's in here is AC. One's a computer since I'd say the 286 era. Ones on the processors and everything. I'm not sure if the ones on the power supplies are use direct current DC or AC. I think I have to look it up and see. I think they're probably DC for those. Yeah, they're DC. So I have to either source a fan or clean the bearings on the current one. I mean, it doesn't sound that bad. It's not that noticeable. But once it gets louder, then I have to do that somewhere. I still have to clean that little scuff mark that's right here at the bottom. You can't see it on camera. And I have a couple other scuff marks I have to clean off of this computer. But other than that, the computer does look a little bit more immaculate, a little bit more better condition than it was. You wouldn't believe how dirty this thing was when I got it. Ugh, it was nasty. And thinking about actually swapping this one with the black one, and put the black one in here so it matches floppy drive. And then for the dual floppy drive, I'm not sure if I can paint this or not, or if they actually made them a different color on my back plate for this, but I would like to get that too for this too. Like the one that looks like this particular texture right here. I'm not sure what this type of texture is called, but it's like I was going to say a matte finish, but it doesn't sound right. It's not glossy, I know that for a fact. It looks, so basically it's something like, or it's like a little, so basically like a gravel feel type of stuff. I'm not sure what the texture is called, but I would love to do like, that like match this. That would be really cool. So I'm going to go stop the stream for now. So in the future we'll be having this computer featured a lot with games like playing a certain game like Space Quest 1, Space Quest 2, King's Quest 1, 2, Space Quest 1, and possibly the second version. Same thing with Space Quest 3, King's Quest 3. I'm not sure if King's Quest will run on this machine or not. It might not, who knows. Yeah, it might. And then a few other games like Planet X3. Oh, another thing. I actually thought of this too. One thing I'm planning on doing as well is making navigation keys for this computer. Keyboard. Feels like have it as an attachment. Like have a small wire that goes from here to the sides or something like that, or something along those lines, and use it as a navigation thing. To see what happens. I haven't tested like all the F function keys. Space Quest games, they do use the function keys, so be using that to test them all out some more. And I have to get my mom potato chips real quick. So anyway, I'm going to end the stream for now. Thank you very much for watching.